Hi, today we're going to learn when to use the while, when to use for, or when to use recursion for a function. So, for example, to begin with, we can say that while must be used whenever you know the times that a certain process has to be repeated. For, we can use it as long as we are given a range, and recursion must be used whenever the function is implied in itself. So we are going to start by showing when to use while. In this case, we are asked to calculate the square root of a number with Newton's law. And in this case, we have that what you have to do is to first add 1 plus the number over the odd approximation over 2. So, and this process has to be repeated as soon until the old approximation equals the new approximation. So in this case, we know the number of times that it has to be repeated, and that's the reason why we used while, because this has to be repeated until these two values are the same. Regarding to for, we have a given triangle, and the user gives the size of the triangle, and what we want to do is to print the triangle from its base to the tip of it. So as we are given a range, we know that the range will go from 1 to the number that the user puts, right? So that's the reason we use for in this, because we know the given range, and as a result we are going to be given whatever we need. And so this is when you have to use the for. Regarding to recursion, that it's sometimes difficult to get to know what happens during recursion. Recursion must be used when the function is implied in itself. You know, you have to use the function established so as to get the result you wanted. For example, we have fib of n, and we know that the Fibonacci number of any number is the Fibonacci of the previous number plus the Fibonacci of the previous. So this recursion is easier to be used when you are given this type of things, you know, like the fib of this is the fib of these two numbers. So it's easier to be used when you have a mathematical formula that defines itself. So we have now talked about the different moments when you have to use these types of recursion, while, or for. And I hope it's useful for you, and see you later.